we got the 4th pick, Marvin Bagley. He's a pretty damn big deal. He's going to be playing the center position for us day 1. So Bismack Biyombo is on the bench now. And what can Bagley do to fit in with this team? Immediately, you can run a million screens with the guy. So Elfrid Payton or Trayvon Duval, who's ever in the game. And then he can have an avenue to attack the basket, but I also think he could have a really good thing going with Aaron Gordon, because you know how Draymond Green throws up alley-oops to JaVale McGee in real life? Given that Gordon's a good playmaker, that could be a thing that we have, where he's able to hit Bagley with stuff. But we also have to talk about Trayvon Duval, who is someone we're going to be keeping an eye on as the season goes along. Is he better than Elfrid Payton? Is he that far away from being the starting point guard of this team? We're going to be keeping tabs on him as well as Payton as the season goes along, and depending on how those two are performing, maybe 20 or so games into the season, maybe we'll end up making a switch. But if anything, even if Duval does not become the starter, I think he and Evan Fournier can be a pretty damn good thing going for off the bench. For some reason, people are acting like Fournier's not good. Some of the comments I've seen, Fournier's like one of our most valuable players. As for Jason Tatum, I expect him to actually make 3-pointers this season, because his contested 3 as well as his moving 3 are both finally okay, while his open 3 is like an 85 or something. So I'm hoping that he can do that. And now Aaron Gordon, we've placed a lot of emphasis on his passing the past couple of seasons. This year, I want to lay back on the passing a little bit, just in terms of the training, and I want to put it more towards his defense, because I think that's where he really needs to step up now. Defense and his rebounding, because he's still not that great of a rebounder, and, well, I mean, you know, grab rebounds, please. Biyombo's going to be the backup center. Bagley will be taken over right away. What happens to Marquise Bolden? I don't know, he's just chilling, I guess. I mean, Biyombo's contract is up after this season. If he'd be willing to come back for less money on a more realistic contract or whatever, I would gladly keep him as a backup, because I think he could be fine for us. 2K really likes us. They think we're the 10th best team, which means we might be like a 5th seed or something. We're in the Eastern Conference, and 2K doesn't make any sense, so I don't know. First 8 games, we went 3-5, but you'll notice, lost to the Cavs by 5, lost to the Blazers by, I think that says 2, unless Sony Vegas is impossible to read. Tatum, he's, well, the thing says scoring machine, and I think that's pretty accurate given his 21 points a game. Over 50% from 3, I expect that to go down, but that's a good look, even if he's only shooting about 2 a game. Bagley's kind of killing it. 14 points, legitimately 10 rebounds a game. His block shots are a little insane, and also 3 assists. Look at some of the performances he's had. 1 against the Charlotte Hornets, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 6 block shots, my goodness. So he went up against Cody Zeller in his first ever NBA game. I mean, Zeller's pretty decent, but I guess it would be understandable why Bagley would be good against him, because it's not like Zeller's going to overpower you with stuff. You'll notice Bagley's not putting up like 20 points a game or anything. That's because I don't want his shot tendency to be that high right now. Like Tatum and Gordon are probably the top 2 options. Against the Chicago Bulls, he was pretty good as well, though. 10 points, but the 12 rebounds was good as well. Going up against DeAndre Ayton, a guy who really elevated the Chicago Bulls when they drafted him. I think it was first overall in the draft, 2 drafts ago now. And then this one against Philadelphia, going up against Joel Embiid, 19 points, 11 rebounds. He's like a better passer than I thought he was going to be. He's actually getting like 3 assists a game. So between him and Aaron Gordon, we could have a real passing front court thing going on here, which is cool. So I think it's safe to say he has not been disappointing at all for us from the moment we drafted him, so that's good. And I mean, there's a chance he'll end up being our best player, actually, because he's not too far away, Jason Tatum, in terms of overall rating right now. I'm really surprised by the rebounding. I thought he was going to be a good rebounder. I didn't think he was going to be this good overall, or at least this quickly. Jason Tatum, the 3-pointer is the big one. I mean, 21 points a game is very nice, but the being actually a thing from 3, but also he was grabbing about 7 rebounds a game, so it seems that his all-around game is developing as well, which is good because I've mainly just placed emphasis on him being a scorer. In terms of things that are not three-pointers, like mid-range and scoring at the basket, he's like ridiculously good. I think his mid-range stuff is like, his open mid-range is like a 90, and the other two are like over 80 or whatever. So the dude's good, and right now he's at 21 points a game. I could see him getting even higher than that as this season goes along. And he's the big-time scorer, no doubt about it. And I think we're starting to see the team form into place a bit more here. Tatum being the big scorer, I think Bagley will eventually be our best all-around player. Aaron Gordon being the great role player for us. Things to be excited about, definitely. We got to talk about some other things, though. The point guard battle. Elfrid Payton, 9 points, 7 assists. Trayvon Duval, 7 points, 6 assists a game off the bench is pretty bananas. And the thing with Duval is he's playing about 20 minutes a game, whereas Elfrid Payton is playing about 29 or 30. Duval's actually also making his three-pointers a little bit. He's not a guy who's going to shoot too many, but he's actually okay at the moment. Against Charlotte, 7 points and 5 assists off the bench while also hitting 1 three-pointer, even though the footage is a long 2. Don't worry about it, it's fine. Duval's looking good, no doubt about it. Will that mean that he actually takes over the starting point guard role this quickly into the season or at all? I don't know. We're going to have to put more time into it. Strong game against the Wizards as well. That's actually kind of ridiculous in only 20 minutes, or really 19 minutes. Here's what I'm going to do with Elfrid Payton. Hopefully, he's just more efficient. Last season, he put up 12 points and 8 rebounds, or 8 assists, I should say. I like how a second ago I said I'm going to do something with Elfrid Payton. I'm not actually going to do anything. I'm just going to hope that he can be better. At this point, I've kind of given up on improving his overall three-pointer because it's just so freaking bad. Speaking of threes, we're not getting much shooting out of Josh Richardson or Terrence Ross, and we're going to be relying on these guys to make open threes. So if they keep on not making their shots, that could be a problem. But here's the thing, we're the 12th best offensive team, which is a significant jump for us because we've been around the bottom of the league for a while there. But we're also the 10th best defensive team. So if we're the 12th best offense, we're 10th in defense, and if you look at our net rating right there of 3.8, all of that says that if we maintain where we're at, we're going to be winning a lot more games. So I think there's a real chance that we could be contending for probably the bottom of the Eastern Conference playoffs.